Hello everyone, this is Ravindra Dundra and welcome to my channel. Today we will talk about this class 7 Cbse geography first topic, that is environment. In this lecture we will see what is this environment and what are the different types of environment. First we will see what is environment. Environment means what? Environment means it is a French word environner, from where the word environment derived. Environner means it means neighborhood. So you can simply say the word environment has derived from a French word environner, which means neighborhood. Then what is the definition of this environment? How can we simply define this environment? Environment can be simply defined as follows: the place, people, things and nature that surround any living organism is called environment. That means that it can be anything which it is, if it is surrounded by a living organism, we call it as an environment. For example, if you take school or college or bus station or railway station, whatever the thing you see, if it is surrounded by a living organism with a non-living organism, we call it as environment. Then what are the different types of environment? Environment is a combination of natural as well as human phenomena. That means you can simply say the environment is actually divided into two different types. One is natural environment and second one is human environment. Then one more is also that is human made environment. In detail in the next video we will talk about this human phenomena. But now what we will see is that we will talk about this natural environment. What is this natural environment? Natural environment, it comprises of two important things. One is biotic, second one is abiotic. What do you mean by this biotic? Biotic means all those living organisms comes under this biotic environment, or you can say biotic environment. Then next one is this abiotic environment, which means it comprises all these non-living things. Now under this natural environment, what are the things that comes is that here the land, water, air, plants and animals comprises the natural environment. That means all these things comes under this natural environment. It can be land, water, air, plants, animals. Why I am saying all these things is it includes, as I told, biotic as well as abiotic. Abiotic includes land, water, air. Then biotic includes these plants and animals. So together it comprises all these biotic as well as abiotic things. Then in detail, if we go with this first one, that is land. Land we can also call it as something like lithosphere. What is this lithosphere? Lithosphere means the hard top layer of the earth. That means the surface on which we all are living, which is very hard, we call it as the lithosphere. Then what are its features? Lithosphere features are something you can say it is made up of rocks and minerals covered with a thin layer of soil. That means you all know we all are living on this lithosphere, or simply you can say we live on this land. And what are the things contained on this land are, you can see here it is made up of rocks. You can see many rocks. It is also made up of minerals. You all know we extract minerals. Then it is covered with thin layer of soil. That means the top layer of this lithosphere is actually covered with a thin layer of soil. Then sometimes this lithosphere, it can be irregular. That means not uneven. It can be ups and downs. We cannot say it is entirely plain. And it is having different landforms. That means lithosphere is not something like similar everywhere. You can see different things on this lithosphere. You see mountains, you can see plains, you see plateaus. You know what are these mountains, what are these plains, what are these plateaus. I think in your 6th class you might have learned about this. What are mountains? Now we will talk about this hydrosphere. Just now we have seen about this lithosphere. The next one is about hydrosphere. What is this hydrosphere? Hydrosphere means the domain of water is referred to as hydrosphere. That means wherever water is found, that particular zone, that particular area, we call it as this hydrosphere. Then what are its features? So its features are what it says. It comprises various sources of water. Just now I told, wherever we find any kind of water bodies, we call it as hydrosphere. Example, you can take rivers, you can take seas, oceans, lakes, etc., etc. Any kind of water body, we may call it as this hydrosphere. Then the next one is about this atmosphere. What is this atmosphere? Atmosphere means the thin layer of the air that surrounds Earth. You all know that a thin layer of air which is surrounded by our Earth, we call it as this atmosphere. Then why it is surrounding to Earth is that because you all know that the Earth has this gravitational force. That means the pulling or the magnetic capacity of the Earth actually holding this atmosphere which is surrounded by Earth. Then it also protects us from harmful sun rays and scorching heat of the sun. That means you all know that in this atmosphere itself we have different gases or number of gases. Among them, one of the very important gas, as you all know, it is ozone gas, or we also call ozone layer. This ozone layer, it protects humans from harmful sun rays, or you can also call them as UV rays. That means ultraviolet rays, which protects us from this harmful sun rays. At the same time, these sun rays are sometimes they are very hot, but we are receiving somewhat lesser temperatures, lesser heat, also because of these different gases that are present in this atmosphere. Then the next one is about this biosphere. Biosphere means the plant and animal kingdom together make biosphere. That means it is a place. Biosphere is a zone where you can find air, land and water to interact with each other. That means air, land, water, they will interact together and they support this life. That means we all human beings, we actually where we live is that we live in this biosphere. Why? Because we interact with air, we interact with land, we interact with this water. So therefore, wherever these three things are interacted, wherever these three things are together, that particular zone, we call it as this biosphere. Ecosystem. What is an ecosystem? Ecosystem means, simply you can say, we will come line by line. Ecosystem means all plants, animals and human beings depend upon their immediate surroundings. That means plants depend upon the environment in different ways. The animals, they depend on different ways on the environment, and at the same time we the human beings also depend upon our surroundings, immediate surroundings. It can be nature, it can be animals, or it can be plants, or whatever the things. Then the next one is that often they are also interdependent on each other. That means the plants are dependent on animals, sometimes animals are dependent on humans, and sometimes human beings, we are also dependent on both animals as well as plants. So next one is this relation between the living organisms as well as relation between organisms and their surroundings forms an ecosystem. That means simply what we can say is that all the living organisms, it may be plants, animals or humans, we depend on immediate surroundings. At the same time, we also interdepend on each other. That means we humans depend on animals, we humans depend on plants. At the same time, plants may depend on humans, or plants may depend on animals, or whatever the way. So both we are dependent on our surroundings, at the same time we are interdependent on each other. So this process or this forms something known as this ecosystem. Then the example is that you can take any rainforest or river or ocean or etc. Anything where this interdependency is there means that we call it as this an ecosystem. So the next one which we have to discuss is about this human environment. Human environment means what? Human environment means human beings interact with environment and modify according to their need. That means what humans do is that they will interact with the nature. For example, the nature is helpful for humans in different ways. It can be anything. What humans will do is that they will interact, they will modify according to their needs. They will not directly use whatever is available in nature. They will modify according to their will. For example, you can take from early humans to the present humans. What are the changes that occurred? There are different types of changes occurred. Early humans, they are just directly depend upon the nature. We can see directly hunting, or you can say gathering. Later on, they started growing crops, but with simple tools, or you can say with all the natural methods. Then later on, what they have done is that after growing crops, they even started producing surplus. They did not stop there itself. They started inventing wheel. After that, they even started producing this surplus. Then even after that, they also brought industries. So like this, from the early humans to the present humans, there are different types of changes occurred in these humans. In all these ways, in all these changes, you can see every time humans interacting with the nature, and they started modifying according to their will, according to their wish. Then one of the process also developed in this change from early humans to the present system is that it is this barter system. What do you mean by this barter system? Barter system means exchanging goods for goods without use of money. When there was no money during the olden days, what people used to do is that whenever if they do any kind of business or anything, they simply exchange their goods for goods. For example, if a person is having a bag of rice and the other person is having a goat, what these two people will agree is that the person who is having rice, he will give that rice to that person who is having goat, and he will receive goat from him. So this process of exchanging only goods for goods without using money, we call it as this barter system. So over a period of time, the human beings, they have developed this barter system. Of course, now we are not following this barter system. We have new system which arrived, that is, we use money as a medium of exchange. In detail, you may learn this barter system in higher classes in very detail. So with this, we have completed this chapter, environment. We have seen what is an environment, then what are the different types of environment, and we have also seen what is lithosphere, hydrosphere, atmosphere, biosphere, and we have also seen about this ecosystem. Then we have also seen how humans modify environment according to their will and wish. So in the next lecture, we will talk about this inside our earth. Thank you.